Okay, welcome to a short demonstration video on how the Virtual Manager FoodSafe app and temperature probe work. So let me go ahead and click into the VM player, and what we're able to see here is a list of tasks that needs to be completed by a kitchen during today's workday. Now when a task becomes overdue, it gets an orange highlight, so we can see that because it's past 6 p.m. at night at the moment, almost all of my tasks for the day are going to be overdue, because as far as the iPad's concerned, nothing's been done today, though I do have a closing temperature check that's not currently overdue because it's assuming that this closing temperature check needs to be done towards the end of the day. So let me show you how the probe works with the iPad. So I'm going to go ahead and click into a spot check, and I'm going to start that. So we can see that the probe starts flashing, and then I'm able to press this button on the probe to sample a temperature. So we can see that the temperature's been sampled at 25.4 degrees Celsius, but this temperature check needs to be between 60 and 120 degrees Celsius to pass, so we're 34.59 degrees Celsius too cold. So it's telling me that I'm not going to pass this check. And it's asking me as well, what type of food are we checking? So I can go ahead and tick chicken breast. And then I've done my spot check. So we've got quite a number of tasks that need to be done during the day. Some of them involve temperature probes. Some of them involve typing in a temperature, for instance, a temperature that could be on the front of a refrigerator or a freezer. And some of the checks that needs to be done during the day are also back of house and front of house cleaning tasks. These are just normal things that need to be done to keep a kitchen running, but combined with these temperature checks, they create a HACCP approved method of keeping a kitchen clean. So if I click into one of these back of house cleaning tasks, it's simply called clean rubbish bins. I click into it and I hit start, and then it asks me to type in my employee ID. For instance, I might type in the number 4, and then it gives me an opportunity to indicate if there were any issues encountered while I was doing this task. Otherwise I'm done. And so in a couple of key presses I'm able to mark off those tasks. So let me go ahead and mark off a front of house cleaning task, which is a cleaning food trays. Let me use employee ID number 4, and then mark it off with no issues. So what I'm also able to do from the iPad is I'm able to alert my supervisor if there's an issue, and I can take an optional photo, or I can just go ahead and say, right, this is the type of issue that we've just faced, and it was a pest issue, and that's automatically logging against my particular kitchen, and it's logging it with my relevant supervisor. So I can go ahead and finish that off, and that's going to be communicated up to my supervisor. So in the event that I need to sample a temperature that involves a machine, I can simply type it in on screen. So the temperature of the cold press, let's put in 66 degrees Celsius, and that's going to fail straight away because the cold press should be definitely not 66 Celsius. So I can go ahead and complete it for the rest of the machines in my HACCP approved schedule of checks. So I have 13 machines to check. So that's how you can deal with temperature checks that don't involve a probe. So let me take you over to the computer now and show you how this information chunks up onto a dashboard.
Okay, so now I'm on a supervisor dashboard with my screen emulated as if it were an iPad. So I can see that I've got a number of things here available on the screen to me. Up the top of the screen I can see what I've had failed temperature checks, so I can go ahead and click into that and see which temperatures have failed and when they failed. I can also see which temperature checks were done late, and I'm able to see that here. And I'm able to click into my cleaning tasks, both front of house and back of house, and I can see that Lakeside have currently done 1 out of 11 cleaning tasks for the day, and as they progress throughout their day this green bar fills up, and the same for the back of house cleaning tasks, so 1 out of 40 tasks currently done. So if I click into my front of house cleaning tasks, I'm able to see what's currently been done and what's still waiting. Now looking over on the right hand side, I can see a list of other duties that my kitchen needs to complete in a day. So I can see that this particular kitchen at the moment, all they've done is their closing temperature checks for the day, and they haven't done their opening tasks temperatures or their noon temperatures. So I'm also able to assign a new task out to one of my kitchens just by clicking and then I indicate what type of task it is I want them to do and which kitchen I want to perform it. And then this task will stay on the iPad of the target kitchen for 2 days or until completed. So then at the bottom of my dashboard, you can see that I've got a list of other types of alerts. So as a supervisor, knowing what types of alerts have come through to me is quite important. So I want to be able to look at my dashboard quickly, understand what I need to do to keep my kitchens productive, and then move on with my day and manage accordingly.